What is up, guys? This video is long overdue. It is now time to theme your Android phone like a boss. Now, this theme was inspired by Ubuntu, but it is so flexible, 100% dynamic, and it will work on just about any phone out there as long as you can install these applications. But the best thing about it is that it's so flexible. Check this out. Wait, that's not Ubuntu, is it? It doesn't have to be. This is based off the Ubuntu style. And I'm going to show you guys how to really make this your own. So, let's get started. So the very first thing we want to do is download all of the applications to recreate this theme. I will leave a list of those applications down below on the description, so make sure you download all of them before starting. And once you've done that, we'll go ahead and start with step number 2. After you have all the applications installed on your phone, go ahead and download my Ubuntu Boss Theme zip file. I've also left that on my description. You will see in here an SD card or SD card folder and source files. Now what you want to do is plug your device to your USB port. Make sure that it's connected to your computer. Once you've done that, on my Galaxy Nexus, you'll see that it says internal storage. Go ahead and open that. In your case, if you have an SD card, open up the SD card, and I've made this very easy. It's almost foolproof, but a lot of you guys get stuck looking at my other boss themes. Click on SD card. All of these files, what you want to do is just copy them over like this, copy, and paste them onto your SD card or internal storage. Because I already have these files, I'm just going to go ahead and click on no. I already have all these files copied over, but make sure you copy them over. And once you've done that, you've pretty much have all of the backup files so that we can restore them. Do not copy the source files. This is the PSD file in case you guys want to modify the background and make a few changes on your own. So now that all of the files have been copied over to your phone, let's go ahead and start theming like a boss. We're going to go ahead and load up Widget Locker. We're going to go ahead and start with the lock screen first. I figured it would be the easiest and work our way towards the front. So once you have Widget Locker loaded, just ignore all of this. If you want to learn about it, go ahead and just read it. Otherwise, just hit continue and done. This is now what you will, or what you should see. We're going to go ahead and push on the settings tab and try and find backup and restore. Now, if you copied all of the files correctly, and in case you don't know where these files are, like I said, I made it really easy. Look at the file location, okay? A lot of these restore applications have these restore file locations, but I've made it really simple. Go ahead and push on restore. You should now see one called Ubuntu Lock. Don't worry about Megaboss, that's an old one that I had. Go ahead and push on Ubuntu Lock. If you don't see that, then you must have copied the file incorrectly and start over from the beginning. Go ahead and click on OK. It will probably ask you for root access like you see here. If you don't have root, go ahead and just ignore this. Otherwise, the reason why it's asking for root is to hide the soft keys, which we'll talk about later. Otherwise, it will not hide the soft keys. Now, it should look something similar to this. You're going to have to push on tap to restore widget to get the UCCW widget loaded. Once again, if you've appropriately transferred the file to the right location, you should see these three skins: main title, titles, Ubuntu Lock. For this situation, we're going to go ahead and push on Ubuntu Lock. Go ahead and do that, and once you push on touch here, it should automatically load it without any problems. Now I did, excuse me, I did talk about in my other video that you can modify the types of messages that you want to receive. If you don't know UCCW, I highly recommend watching some tutorials. I'm not going to go through everything, but in a nutshell, all you need to do is select the object, get rid of text messages, and what you want to do is add whichever one you want. So for example, if you want to get a different type of message like Gmail, there's all of those there, missed calls. There's a lot of different settings you can change. Go ahead and add it, and of course just change the color to white and the font size to make it match. In a nutshell, that's pretty much it. Also, I did create a hotspot. Once again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend watching a tutorial on UCCW. Maybe I'll do one in the future. Create a hotspot so that when you push on it, it'll take you to whatever messaging system you want. One thing that we're missing here is the clock. So in order to do that, you have to download JB Plus Clock. go ahead and push on widgets, and you should see one called Clock JB Plus. Now the one you want to do is the digital clock, which should look something like this. Don't worry, you just have to resize it in order to get the date. There it goes. And this is something that if you already have Jelly Bean, I believe you don't need this application. There it goes. Just need to move it up a little bit more. Perfect. So the whole lock screen is now complete. We can now move on to the next part. Now comes the fun part. So we're going to go ahead and load TSF Launcher. If you have downloaded it, you should see TSF Shell. Go ahead and apply the launcher just by clicking on it. Now, I also had you guys download a theme, the MIUI theme, and we need to apply that first before we do anything else, okay? Go ahead and, this is just messages that you can ignore. Yeah. So in order to do that, go ahead and, they're just trying to show you how the theme or the launcher works. Go ahead and push on this little gear down here and push on themes. We want to apply the MIUI theme that you downloaded. Go ahead and push on that and then apply. Don't worry, ignore this message. Just go ahead and push OK. And it should now apply the MIUI theme. This changes all of the icons. I chose this theme because it matches more of the Ubuntu theme. It has the orange, which I kind of like. Otherwise, you guys can pick whichever other theme you want. Just go ahead and hit that plus sign. It'll load up some default applications there. And after you've done that, we're going to restore the TSF Launcher database. In order to do that, what you want to do is push on settings and then scroll all the way to the kind of middle area and push on backup and restore configuration. Go ahead and do that. Now it's going to ask you if you want to restore it, and it will be restarted. Go ahead and push on OK. Now if for whatever reason it does not work, as you can see, if you see this little guy there, that means it kind of didn't work. You're gonna have to do it again. I don't know why it does this, so don't be alarmed. That's why I'm letting you guys know. There's two ways around it. You can either restart TSF Shell or you can do the restore again, and it should work. Either way, it should work. I usually restore the file again and it usually works. So remember, if you see the little guy or little dot, that means it didn't load properly. It needs to be restarted. It should be 100% clear. As you see right here, there should be nothing on the screen except for your soft keys, or if you have hardware buttons, and the top notification area. Now, because our menu is gone, that means that we won't be able to access it. However, the Shell Launcher already has a built-in gesture, so all you need to do is use two fingers to the left or right. Should work. There it goes. And what you want to do is, I usually set this up first, go to gestures. Go ahead and push on swipe up, and what you want to do is expand shrink side menu bar. And I excuse me, I also did that for the swipe down. I find it convenient. Go ahead and expand shrink menu. So do that for swipe up and swipe down. So now whenever you swipe up, the menu will come up. This is what I was doing in my video. You can't really, I was doing this. You can't really swipe this way because of the wallpapers, otherwise it won't know. If you don't like this method, if you feel that, oh, I don't like swiping up, I usually do this. I kind of like it because anywhere in the screen you could just swipe up or down. But if for whatever reason you do not like that, go back to settings, and in here under desktop, you will see right here where it says auto hide side menu bar. So go ahead and uncheck that. Now what you will see is the true, it'll be a true side swiping menu bar. There it goes. So it'll really work. The only thing is that this will not go away. So depending on what type of configuration you like, you can choose. I like the swiping up, so I like to get rid of that, but I'll just leave it on there for now. So now we're going to be setting up our multi-picture live wallpaper. In order to do that, just go ahead and push and long press and push on wallpapers. Select live wallpapers and find multi-picture live wallpaper. Now when you do this, go ahead and push on settings down below and make sure that common settings, make sure that the crop resize ratio is fit to full screen in case it's not. That's really, really important. Otherwise, we're going to start setting up all of our different wallpapers for our different screens. So go ahead and push on the add individual settings to select screen 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up screen number 1. Go ahead and push on that. Now we need to find the picture, which was in that SD card folder that you guys downloaded. In here you should see an Ubuntu folder, and I believe this is number 1. You want to find u1.jpg. There it is right there. In case you, for whatever reason, don't see U1, and I made this very simple, guys, it's labeled after the screen number. So for example here, if it says U5, you know you have the wrong one. Go back and go ahead and find U1, and you've guessed it, for screen number 2, which we're going to do the same thing, that we're doing screen number 2, you're going to have to find U2, just like the band. Okay, single picture source, go ahead and find the Ubuntu folder. This should be the number 2, U2, and go back. We're going to go ahead and do this for all 5 screens, and then we'll come back. Now that you have all of your 5 screens set up, go ahead and scroll to the bottom, and right here where it says show reflection bottom, go ahead and uncheck that. Otherwise it's going to show a reflection of the bottom at the bottom, and it's going to throw the wallpaper off. And right here where it says double tap to change picture, I uncheck that also. Now this is very important. Workaround for some home applications. Go ahead and push on that. Now depending on what type of phone you have, I'm using force 5 screens. Otherwise, for whatever reason, it kind of throws the phone off. The live wallpaper just starts to act really weird. So this is something that you guys may have to tweak, but I'm using this setting, force 5. Now of course if you have more screens, then you might have to do the force 7 screens. Anyhow, once you've completed that, go ahead and go back and make sure you push on set wallpaper. And if you've completed this successfully, you should now start seeing the Ubuntu style wallpapers. Now everything is going to be blank right now, so in order to make sure that you did this correctly, make sure you swipe all the way to the left. I think I'm all the way to home screen number 1. Now home screen number 2, something's wrong here. See, I did something bad, so we're gonna have to fix that. So I figured out what the problem was, and I'm glad this happened on camera. As you can see, it's getting cut off right there. It actually loaded more screens. So what you want to do is make sure, depending on how many screens you're using, you push down here and then go ahead and push on this icon. Now we need to get rid of 1, so long press, and then that should make it 5 screens. Now the wallpaper should be easily, or should be aligned. Let's go ahead and push back. There we go. So if you did this correctly, you should only have 5 screens. I don't know why it loaded. On my restore file I only had 5, but anyhow, sometimes these are good things that, or it's good that it happened now so you guys can see. Go ahead and scroll, and you can see on number 3 we should have an additional one because we have 3 different categories. Screen number 4 and then screen number 5. Now you can change the transition mode depending on how you like it. On the multi-picture live wallpaper, I actually have a different one, not this one. I don't like the default one, but go ahead and you guys can mess with that on your own. So now let's move on to the next step, which is putting everything together. In order to do that, let's go ahead and move to screen number 1, and to make sure that you're on screen number 1, just scroll all the way to the left until you see this screen. And what you're going to do next is add a widget. Push and hold down, and where you see widgets, go ahead and add a UCCW widget. And this is going to be a 3x1, 3x1, okay? Past it. There it is, UCCW 3x1. Okay, and remember the first time when we did widget locker, you used Ubuntu lock. Now we're going to use the main title one. So go ahead and push on main title, and then just where it says touch here, go ahead and push on that. Now it says gaming by default because that is the one I saved, but go ahead and move this all the way to the top, and now it's positioned correctly. Now this theme is very forgiving because you can really fine tune it. I mean, if you wanted to like move it like right there, it doesn't matter. There's no predetermined area, so this is really nice about this theme, or especially this launcher. So in order to change this to, for example, we're going to use the home text. Go ahead and push on select object. Now you want to select the static text. This will allow you to modify it to whatever you want. This is the nice thing about this theme, is that it's 100% dynamic. So go ahead and scroll to where it says controls number 3 and push on text. So for the purpose of this demo, we're going to go ahead and type in home. Go ahead and hit OK. And once we back out of it, it should change to home. Really easy. Now we're going to go and do the sub menu. Do the same thing, push down, widgets. Now we're going to do a 4:1. Now you're probably asking, Armando, why are we doing 4:1 and we did 3:1? And this is a lot smaller because depending on how long your text is, you may need a very long area. So we're going to do 4:1. In this case, we're going to use the last one, which is called titles. So I've labeled this very easy to understand. So go ahead and push on that, and this one says console emulators. But, you know, because we're theming the first screen, or home screen number 1, we're going to go ahead and change that, because we're not going to do console emulators. We're going to do, let's just change it to featured apps. Okay, so go ahead and remove my original text. Double tap on that to make sure that it's all capitalized. And we're doing featured apps. Okay. Of course, it doesn't recognize that, so we're going to just manually key that in, exit out of there, and now we have our featured apps. Remember, this is really forgiving, so you could put this wherever you want. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. No problem. And now we are just going to go ahead and add some applications, which is really easy. Long press, and what you want to do is right here where it says applications, go ahead and push on that. Now, the next step is just to add all of the applications that you want. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and add just random apps here. Let's see, I have 6 of them. And then what you could add as many as you want. I'm just adding 6 right now. Just go ahead and move this however you like. There you go. If you want to move it a little bit more like that, I think that's right about centered. Go ahead and exit. Now, if for whatever reason, like right now, I saw that it's kind of a little bunched up together, I want a little bit more space. Double tap anywhere and you'll see lasso mode is on. What lasso mode allows you to do is just do something like this. And then what you want to do is push up here where it says arrange. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. That's okay. Go ahead and do that again, lasso mode. Okay, all the way up here where it says arrange. Now it'll allow you to rearrange the icon. So if you ever want to add a little bit more, I think that looks better. There we go. That looks much better. So we're going to go ahead and do the bottom, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and added newsfeed just the same way I did featured apps, and we're going to go ahead and add the minimalistic reader. I believe that's what it's called. So go ahead and tap on widgets, and or maybe it's minimalist. I don't remember. We're going to find out right now. So we're going to scroll. Minimal. There it is. You want to use the minimal reader 4x2. And here's where you get to tweak it however you want. So go ahead and do settings, and you could say, for example, show the background. I believe that's on by default. I already unchecked it. You can hide the borders. I believe that one's on by default. So you can just make it and tweak it however you want. Once you're done, save it, and there it is. It's your news feed. Now I think it's the reason it's not showing any news is because I haven't linked it to any account. But if you saw my demo before, it will show all of the different news feeds. And I believe even in my demo, I didn't have these buttons here to go up and down. So this is something that you can tweak it and make it your own however you want. So now that we finished home screen number 1, you guys kind of get an idea of how to do this, and it's really simple, and you guys can change out the different widgets, applications, and really make this your own. So for the following screens, because I don't want to make this video very long, I'm going to use my little friend to help me out, and my little friend is the Nexus 4, which is already completed. I'm pretty much just going to tell you all of the different widgets that I use. So for screen number 2, of course, you just change the text to multimedia pictures. Now this picture here is a pendant. And sorry, I'm just going to scroll up here. And the pendant is right here. See right there? This is part of TSF Launcher. So just use pendant and then you can select whichever picture you want. And then for this gallery, this is actually a widget. And it's also built into TSF Launcher. And that is the album widget right here. And you just kind of place that. This is just text that you guys know how to do that. And this is pure music widget. Once again, you could tweak it however you want. I'm using a transparent background. So I'll just show you really quick where that's at. Pick a skin. You want to make sure that you're using the transparent one. And make sure that you do select it. It is right here. Applied. So make sure once you select the transparent, you select it. Make sure you hit save and exit down here. Sorry for the glare. And then go ahead and hit save and exit, and then of course you can resize it however you want. For the third one, this is simple calendar widget. There it is. I am using the skin semi-clock
multiple events. So it's at the very top right. And of course you can just tweak it your own. I believe I took out so that you can't see the location. And that's something that you guys can tweak it yourself. AIX widget, oops, wrong one, sorry. This is an AIX weather widget right here. AIX weather, you can configure it. I believe that I also took the border off and made it transparent. This is just a Google Drive widget. For social, I'm using right here where it says frequent contacts. All I am doing is contact widget, and of course I'm just using the people that have pictures, otherwise it's going to look blank. Now for this right here, this is called, I believe, Bling Board Social. So this is just a standard widget, and I'm using, I believe, the black one because I have different colors. And for my gaming one is just a bunch of applications. So that's pretty much it for the theming of the rest of the screens. It's really easy, and just kind of wanted to show you guys what I did in case you guys wanted to follow the same style. And just to show you how awesome this theme is, you can pretty much put any type of wallpaper in the back and it just looks amazing. I mean, this is actually a live wallpaper of a galaxy, kind of like an exploding fireball. But this is just probably one of my favorite themes. So it doesn't really matter what background you use, it just looks great. Here's another live wallpaper, and as you can see, there's no lag. It doesn't matter if it's a live wallpaper or not. This is due to the TSF optimization. They've done a really good job. So if you're concerned about lag, you can see this is a live wallpaper with no lag. And the beautiful thing about this theme is that, as I stated, no matter what type of background you have, it just looks really, really good. Here's one of my favorite wallpapers. I think if I had a Galaxy S3, I would probably use this one just because it looks really cool. Kind of the whole entire galaxy and the clouds. It looks crazy. Also a live wallpaper, so it's pretty neat. Here's the whole theme in pure black. I just put a black background, so if you're concerned about resources, look at this. Even in pure black, this theme looks great. There's no wallpaper. It's probably going to save you some battery life because you're using, especially on your OLED displays. So this is another, does not look like Ubuntu at all anymore, does it? Looks like a boss. So hopefully this will kind of give you guys some ideas of what you can do with your phone.
So, what did you guys think of this theme? It is a really nice theme that has a ton of flexibility, and I like that. Again, you could do it however you want. For example, this lock screen, this is actually a true battery widget. So this is something that I hope that will inspire other themers out there. Just the fact that it's 100% flexible. That was the key to this video, is to have a theme that will work with a ton of phones out there. So if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure, most important, that you share this video. This is something that I want people to know about. Also, I have a community. That's right, a theming community. If you are on Google+, make sure you join that community. I will leave that link down below. If you guys have questions, problems, I will be there. I am one of the moderators. Of course, this is my community. I also have another gentleman by the name of Brian Healy that will help you guys out there. So hopefully this community can grow. And remember, I will be there, so if you have questions, please go there. It'll make things easier for me to respond. Anyhow, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe if you're new to my channel. Otherwise, make sure you share and give it a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. Adios.